Hi. A short time ago, I visited my financial advisor. I go in and see him once a year, and because we get on well, we usually sit and chat for quite some time before he gets round to the business side of things. And in this particular conversation, we were talking about retirement. Now, you've got to remember that a retirement or financial advisor generally has clients which remain with him or her for quite some time, from when they retire, generally, until when they pass away. And this can be many, many years. It can be 5 or 6 years, it can be 10 years, 20 years, even 30 years. In my case, it is 30 years, and I haven't passed on yet. But we were talking about the way people can develop senility or Alzheimer's. And he mentioned something that I'd never even thought about before, and it was this. Those that find it most difficult to retire and are likely to develop senility or Alzheimer's in a shorter time than those who do not meet this requirement, well, here's the message. He said that people who chop and change their jobs a lot, go to different careers, different lifestyles, different vocations, and they've done that over a period of maybe 50 years and adapted to change. When they retire, they can adapt to change more easily. Whereas if they've been in the one job, perhaps from 15 years of age to 65 years of age, then they find it very hard to make the adjustment. I have a friend who fitted into this latter category, started work as an apprentice at a lad of probably 16 years of age, kept working until he was 65, then became a consultant for a little while with the same company, doing the same sort of work, and then retired. And I'm told that he's not doing so well. His mind is beginning to let him down, his recall, his memory. In other words, senility, perhaps, is starting to grab hold of him. And it seems that, as my financial advisor said, it's possibly because he found it very, very hard to adapt to a completely new life after 50 years of the same type of work, meeting the same challenges, becoming very good at them, becoming so expert that he hardly had to think about them at all. And then suddenly retired, a new challenge which is hard to adapt to if you haven't adapted many, many times during your lifetime. So just a point, perhaps there's something good in being able to chop and change from one job to another. You mightn't make the senior ranks, you mightn't become the CEO, but in retirement, nobody cares whether you were the CEO or the janitor. And the point is, if you spend your whole life in one vocation, working your way to the top, and then you're suddenly retired, you think, well, what am I now? You've identified so much with your job, it's become who you are. Of course, it was never who you are, it was a role. It was a role which you've identified with so strongly that it seems to have become you. What's my advice here? Well, I guess it would be become more versatile. Don't be reluctant to change careers midstream, particularly if the career you're in isn't giving you a joy and satisfaction anyway. I hope you got something out of this one.